Hi everybody, well today is a very special day. Today is International Grandparents' Day. And here's 4 generations. Here's my mom, Grandma Elizabeth, my sister, me, and my niece. Here's my father-in-law, Frank. He was my husband's father. Here's Mom and Dad, my parents, who are grandparents of my children. Here's Grandma Elizabeth. She was my grandmother. Here's Grandma Bessie. Here's Mom and Dad. They were wonderful, wonderful grandparents to my children. And here's me and Grandma Elizabeth sitting at the beach. I don't know what year it was. And here's Molly, my husband's mom, when she was in her younger day. Today I'm making Italian breaded pork chops. It's a wonderful dish. Grandma Elizabeth taught me a lot about baking, but on the other hand, Grandma Bessie taught me a lot about Italian food and chocolate pudding cake, which I dearly love. We're going to wrap this up, and we're going to wrap with tons of bread on it. Make sure you grease the bottom of your pan. Pork chop, you have to make sure, folks, you cook it until there's no more pink. You don't want to have any pink inside your pork chops, because pork chops, you know, is a funny kind of meat like chicken is. And later on, I'm going to show you how to make mashed potatoes, and I'm going to show you how to do it the right way. But that's not going to happen for quite a while yet. Okay. Okay, we're going to dip this in here. Now, let me just wash my hands. Because like any kind of meat, you don't want to take a chance to get anything on anything, you know. Get everything off. A little bit of soap. Okay. Yeah, my grandparents were wonderful. And so were my kids' grandparents. They were always there for my kids as well, you know. And I'm going to add a little bit of garlic on here. You want to make it nice and seasoned. A little bit more breadcrumbs. I want to pop this in the oven and bake this for about a good 45 minutes. We'll be back and I'm going to show you how to make mashed potatoes the right way. Okay, we're going to make the mashed potatoes. Folks, there's a right way and a wrong way in making mashed potatoes. You have to heat the milk up before you put it in with the potatoes. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to cut up the potatoes. Oops. Sorry about that little slippery devil. Okay, pause. Alright, what we're going to do now is we're going to heat the milk up. You don't want to put it into cold milk, folks, because it doesn't come out as good. You want the mashed potatoes to be nice and fluffy. And we're going to cut up potatoes. It doesn't take long to make mashed potatoes, folks. It's a very quick thing to make. I've made very good mashed potatoes. Now, what we're going to do now, folks, is I'm going to put these potatoes and boil them into water. Now, this is not going to take long to cook, folks, but one more thing you have to do when you make your potatoes, add a lot of salt to the water. Lots and lots of salt. Now, we're going to let this cook for just a few minutes, and then I'm going to show you the finished product. Folks, we're going to be really surprised how it's going to come out. Have this little potato here. Oh, I want to show you one more picture. My grandparents, Grandpa Lou and Grandma Elizabeth, when they were young. Younger than me, probably. These potatoes have to cook in boiling salt water. Now, the next thing is I'm going to pour hot milk over the potatoes. I just have to find the masher. Here it is. Now, we're going to start mashing. Mashing. We're going to put this back on the flame. We're going to keep mashing, mashing, mashing. Make sure the milk is hot before you add it. Mash it to be fluffy. Nice and fluffy, and I added a scoop of butter in here, a little bit of butter. Oh, it's just delicious. I absolutely, folks, I love mashed potatoes. I just have to grab a fork. I'll be right back. Okay. You want your mashed potatoes to be really fluffy, okay, folks? Not running every place either, but nice and fluffy. Sometimes if you add too much milk in, it's not to worry. And now, a delicious breaded pork chop. This is an honor of my grandparents for International Grandparents' Day. I tell you, folks, I would not be where I am today with my cooking show if it wasn't for my grandparents, especially my grandmothers. The men worked, of course. Pork chops goes great with applesauce. You can see how wonderful it is. Now, if you want, I always recommend add a little bit more butter on top of the potato. It will melt in and it'll be delicious. And here we have an honor of International Grandparents' Day. breaded pork chops, Italian style, mashed potatoes, and applesauce. And by the way, I'm Country Kitchen. Have a great day. Please subscribe to my wonderful YouTube channel.